In my last videos, I've been getting flamed for all the quote-unquote V7s and V8s I've been climbing because apparently they've been graded too soft. So after a month of not climbing, I finally decided to switch climbing gyms. I used to climb in Philly, but now I climb in Austin, Texas. And today, I'm going to be climbing a bunch of V3s and V4s, starting with a warm-up on this purple V2. And make sure you watch the whole video because I'll also be explaining why you should probably switch your climbing gym too. This little slab was pretty nice. It started with a little mantle and ended up on a couple slopers. The trick to topping out on this climb is to make sure you stay low so that you can hang with your arms straight down so the sloper feels way easier to hold on to. And you know, throughout this climbing session, I felt pretty refreshed. It was very nice seeing a bunch of unique climbs set by different people in a completely new area. And it got me doing a lot more unique moves and things that I weren't used to. And you know, this kind of training is good for you because you know you work on your weak points that you normally don't work out. So honestly, I suggest that if you've been climbing at your gym for a while, you might want to look into other climbing gyms in your area. And that way you're able to work on your weak points and climbing styles that you usually tend to neglect. It's also a good idea to switch gyms because all gyms grade differently. But I'll go more into that later in the video. So this third climb I'm doing, it's this really cool dynamic coordination move. So you kind of have to do a mantle, well not a mantle, but it's a like dynamic mantle where you step up and you have to switch your feet and catch yourself by smearing with your left foot on the wall. This one was a lot of fun. It required coordination, precision, a little bit of balance, and it required some confidence because that last move was a little awkward. This next climb was on the white, and you started off on this pretty big volume. And here, I had to get pretty flexible with my legs here. But once you get the start, the rest is pretty straightforward. Just a nice, simple slab. And also, let me know in the comments what you guys think the grades of these climbs are. I would say all the climbs I did in this video were all around the same grade. So let me know what you think the exact grade is on the scale for these ones. Alright, and this next one I worked on was an overhang, and the thing about overhangs is that I feel like I do have the upper body strength to hold myself up, and it does help me campus from time to time, but the thing about overhangs is that I suck at them because the footwork for them feels so much harder for me. So this one definitely was a struggle. I took a lot of time on this one and I felt a lot of pump as I was working on this one. So let me know if you have any tips for me to work on my overhangs. You can see at that point I was really struggling to get myself out of that position, but I finally made it to the end. But now is the part of the video where we get into more of the interesting climbs because I went upstairs and they have a bunch of competition style boulders. So I don't know the exact grade for these either, but they're a lot more slabby and they're a lot honestly a lot more fun in my opinion. So I started off with this purple one and I at first thought the end was really awkward, but then I had realized that once I hit that little nub right there at the bottom, I could simply just, you know, do a little tap with my fingers, and that ended up working out. The next thing I worked on was this orange slab. Really cool flexible start, and the interesting thing about this wall is that it's actually no text. So when I went to reach for this dyno, it actually was a lot harder than I thought, and that's because, you know, you can't smear on the wall to catch yourself. But it wasn't too bad. You just have to really pull hard on that little jug there, and you can see that I'm like slipping all over the place when I catch it. The next part was when it really got hard because that dyno to the final hold is a lot farther than it looks. Here's my first attempt at it. Pretty hard, and after that I was like, maybe I could do it statically, but that felt really bad. Like it just didn't seem possible at all. So here's a few clips of me just trying to project this last part of the climb, but oh my god, this was hard.
Damn. Bro, like I have it. I literally have it.
After that big fall, I gave it a few more attempts, but you know, I just decided, you know, sometimes it's better to just move on to other things. So I took a shot at these other competition climbs I saw. But going back to what I was saying earlier about how gyms grade differently, well, This is kinda obvious. All setters set subjectively based on their own strength, so it's never really easy to gauge the exact grade of any climb. But by climbing at a new gym, it's almost like you're able to recalibrate your sense of what a certain grade should feel like.
Nice.
For me specifically, switching gyms has helped me stay honest with myself about my actual climbing progression. But who cares about the exact grade anyways? I know you guys are always on my ass about what I'm climbing, but ultimately, climbing's about personal growth. It's about pushing yourself, conquering your fears, and celebrating the small wins. So if you're a V4 climber and want to try a V7, why not? Everyone has their own
Damn,
strengths and
eat your
weaknesses,
foot.
and you never know what you're capable of until you actually get to try. But anyways, guys, since you've made it this far, you might as well leave a like to help me out and support my small channel. I really appreciate you watching this little climbing vlog, and if you haven't seen me climb at my old gym, I suggest you check out this last video where I tried to project another competition climb.